Okay, let's unpack this one today.
Sounds good.
We're doing a deep dive into the world of, well, a specific Irish sitcom, Mrs. Brown's Boys.
Right.
The show stars Brendan O'Carroll as Agnes Brown, who the source just calls an old woman in Ireland. Simple enough.
In the episode summary we're looking at, it's titled Mammy's Electric Fanny.
Yeah. So our mission here is to take this summary and see what interesting, sort of specific details we can pull out. What does it tell us about the episode just based on what's written down?
It's interesting what the summary chooses to, zoom in on. It starts with Agnes in the kitchen.
And the first interactions are really telling about the summary's style, I think.
Totally. So, first, Winnie McGugan comes in. Agnes offers her tea.
Standard enough.
Winnie says yes. Says exactly 2 lines, according to this summary, and then just leaves.
And then it basically happens again with Mark.
Right. He comes in, gets offered tea, says yes.
Let me guess. The summary counts his lines, too.
Yeah. 3 lines this time. And guess what?
He also leaves without his tea.
You got it.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, is this line counting, tea ignoring thing a deliberate focus of the summary writer, or just like a weird observation they made?
It's peculiar, but then it takes a turn, which maybe hints at the show's actual style.
Oh, yeah. Next up, Dermot and Buster arrive.
And how do they arrive, according to this summary?
They come in dressed as a sausage.
A sausage.
A sausage, that's what it says.
Okay. So we go from counting lines precisely and noting untasted tea to people entering dressed as processed meat.
It's quite the shift.
That contrast, it's pretty jarring. Suggests maybe a show that leans heavily into visual gags, perhaps. Doesn't take itself too seriously.
Absolutely. And speaking of unusual details, the summary includes...
Go on.
It mentions Buster flirts with Kathy Brown. Fine, sitcom stuff. But then the summary adds this little note in parentheses.
Oh, what does it say?
It says, and I quote, Kathy is played by Buster's stepmom. It's not weird at all.
Wow. Okay, that's meta. The summary writer pauses the plot description to give us casting info.
And then immediately tells us how to feel about it.
It's not weird at all. Like, they're anticipating your reaction.
Right. Like, the summary itself found it notable, maybe a bit awkward, and tried to smooth it over beforehand. It's not just plot, it's commentary.
Definitely adds a layer to what we're reading here. Going back slightly to the line counting thing.
Yeah.
The summary also makes sure to tell us Granddad gets exactly 1 line.
Just 1. So that pattern continues. Minimal input noted with precise numbers.
Another tick in the box for the summary's, let's say, unique criteria for importance. It seems really fixated on these counts and the more visually strange or off-screen facts. It does. And then after all these very specific, sometimes odd details, how does the summary wrap up the episode's plot?
Well, it says they all go to Foley's for some reasons, and then it just ends.
For some reasons. That's vague.
Incredibly vague, isn't it? It suggests the writer either didn't know, didn't care, or couldn't figure out the motivation. Just, reasons.
And for the summary to just stop right there and then it just ends. It feels so abrupt. Maybe mirroring the episode itself, or maybe just how the summary writer decided to finish.
It's a very sudden stop after all the earlier specificity.
So, thinking about all this, what have we really learned from this summary?
Well, we've seen it highlight very specific character interactions line counts. The skip tea, Granddad's single line.
And really strange visuals, like the sausage costume entrance.
Plus that meta-commentary on the casting relationship, and then the vague plot point followed by that abrupt ending.
Right. So considering only these details from this particular summary, the line counts, the sausage, the stepmom note, the some reasons, the sudden stop it, raises a final question for you, listening.
Based just on this summary, what kind of show do you picture? What kind of humor, what style, what overall experience does this very specific, slightly strange summary suggest the full episode might actually offer?